That now, yeah.
I just a couple of commentators, Ruby Shell, would say, I don't want to name names, but that he might have got there a bit too early if he could kept her covered up. But sure, look, I don't think anyone would have beaten Absolute Hard in the day, and looks like they're coming in. So I dodged the bullet there. Richard Pugh, take it away.
Saved by the flag. They are racing for the Louis Fitzgerald Hotel hurdle over 2 miles 3 furlongs, and going forward is Indiana Jones, but Lardy Debut is another one who's close to the early pace and may in fact touch down in front of flight number 1. Lardy Debu's over, Indiana Jones for company. They're the leading pair. Field de Dury is just behind them with Crosshill, then Merlin Giant wide out in the cheek pieces of Champagne Gold. Gibraltar is next with Ganapathy, and Classic Getaway is last of all as the Willie Mullins trained trio are to the rear of the field, making their way on the turn into the straight, and out in front it is Lardy Debut, out of a mare called Debut that was bred by our very own Brian Gleeson, being followed in second by Field de Dury, who was second at Aintree last time. Then towards the outside and third is Indiana Jones. He's fallen on each of his last 3 starts. That was over fences, he's back over hurdles here, and he has a brother to Mighty Potter and Caldwell Potter, who ran here yesterday. Just in behind them is Merlin Giant towards the outside, trained by Emmett Mullins, making his hurdling debut here. Just inside in the red cap is Crosshill, who is next. The dam won a bumper round here at Finn Bell. Then towards the inside is Gibraltar. Towards the wide outside is the cheek piece rubber, that's Champagne Gold. Just inside this one is Ganapathy, the choice of Paul Townend, and last of all is Classic Getaway, who crushed a blood vessel at Cheltenham last time. So the race up to past the post, and it is Lardy Debut and Rachel Blackmore who lead from Field de Dury and Nicola Bundle on the inside. Near side Indiana Jones and Darragh O'Keefe, and they're being followed by Merlin Giant and Brian Hayes. Then towards the inside is Crosshill and Robert Parr. Behind these, towards the inside is Gibraltar with Champagne Gold, Ganapathy last but one, and Classic Getaway is going to have to pass them all to win as they take the flight. And a little awkward there was Gibraltar, somewhat landed on the flight as they turn right-handed to go towards flights 5 and 6 now. Lardy Debut with Field de Dury racing in second. Third is Indiana Jones, fourth is Merlin Giant. Crosshill is next, then Gibraltar. They're being chased up by Champagne Gold, who has ridden up a few strides there on the outside of Ganapathy, and just behind them Classic Getaway as they land over that one, and now they'll sharply descend down towards flight number 6, and it's Lardy Debut who took the scalp of Kilcrott back before Christmas, but on the outside Indiana Jones. And towards the inside Field de Dury, Merlin Giant, Crosshill are next with Gibraltar who's stuck to the rail. Ganapathy's in the yellow and black check. That will be aboard later on album photo. On the outside is Champagne Gold in the Manila Indo silks, and last of all is Classic Getaway in the Yellow House silks. That's all to look forward to, but we're mid-race here with Lardy Debut, Field de Dury and Indiana Jones, the 1, 2, 3. Behind them Merlin Giant, then Crosshill, Gibraltar the inside. Wider again is Champagne Gold, Ganapathy and Classic Getaway, the back pair as they turn to race now along the back straight and make their way on towards flights 7 and 8, and it is Lardy Debut from on the inside Field de Dury, towards the outside Indiana Jones, just behind them Crosshill, and on the outside is Merlin Giant. They're being chased just behind by Gibraltar, further back to Ganapathy and Champagne Gold, and last of all is Classic Getaway. They go to flight number 7 right over the far side of the track now. Lardy Debut made on to this point from Indiana Jones. Field de Dury just right down the inside and third. They're being chased back in 4th spot by Merlin Giant, then Crosshill. Champagne Gold's on the move. Gibraltar towards the back with Classic Getaway, who marginally relegates Ganapathy, who's now switched to the outside to be last of all. So they're about to touch down over their 4th last flight. No change in the order. It is Lardy Debut with Indiana Jones not too far away, and Field de Dury well positioned in third. Is he well positioned enough to take the contest, Lisa?
That'll be interesting to see, Richard. Rachel Blackmore seems to be in a nice rhythm on front. Nico de Bonneville has been slipstreaming her. He's gone the shortest way around the track. Racing with a little bit of enthusiasm early is Crosshill with Puppy Power on board. He's maybe just starting to feel the pinch now, but it'll be interesting to see what happens.
5 furlongs ahead of them, 3 flights to be jumped. Lardy Debut joined by Indiana Jones on the outside. Right behind them Merlin Giant, then Field de Dury. Just behind them Crosshill has switched a little wider out. Gibraltar's down the inner as they land over that one. Indiana Jones landed awkwardly, so too Classic Getaway. They are bunching right up here now on the Louis Fitzgerald hurdle as they make their way towards the flight before they turn in. Field de Dury has gone to the front as Lardy Debut gets back. Indiana Jones is still there. Crosshill is getting right into contention. Just behind them Classic Getaway and Gibraltar, and Ganapathy is trying to get into a Champagne Gold, and Merlin Giant have dropped out. Lardy Debut, and it's Field de Dury who leads them into the straight. Begins to open up from in second Crosshill. Classic Getaway's gone into third. Gibraltar's back in 4 as the quartet are in front of Ganapathy as they turn now towards home, and it's Field de Dury with Crosshill trying to wear down wide outside. Classic Getaway's coming with a big challenge. And behind them is Gibraltar and Classic Getaway on the wide outside. outside, has swept through to take over the lead from in second field Getaway. Next over on the near side is Crosshill, but going towards the final flight, it is Classic Getaway from field Getaway in second, Crosshill in third. Over the last, a little slow. Classic Getaway has to get the engine started again now. Field Getaway is tight on the rail. We'll hear more of this. Crosshill has swooped now on the coming on the near side. It's Crosshill from a battling back. Classic Getaway. Crosshill on the near side. Classic Getaway. Crosshill gets up just from Classic Getaway and field Getaway, who had their own battle on the inside, and they were followed in by Champagne Gold, and then behind these came Galapathy, then Gibraltar, and further back to Merlin Giant, Indiana Jones, and the disappointing Largy debut. Well, Field Getaway got very tight on the rail as Classic Getaway came across him, and Robert Power on the outside on Crosshill came through. Bred by Deirdre Cashman, we said mid-race that his dam won a Punchestown here. He's also a winner when he won here himself, beating Vanillier. He's back to win under Robert Power in the colours of Galvin. But Robert, with Manila Indo, what's going to happen later on?
You did mention him, Jane, Crosshill.
Yeah, Jessica Harrington at Punchestown. You could set your watch by her. She needed a little bit of luck. It looked like Field Getaway was after making the best of his way home. Then it looked like Classic Getaway was come to take the race by the scruff of the neck at the last. But as they approach the hurdle, Ruby, he gets a little bit slow and Crosshill flies it.
Yeah, Danny's in the middle of the track, and as he goes, he lifts his right hand, he runs Classic Getaway right, and when he lands, Nico de Bombal is still there. Danny has to straighten that horse up. We need to see a head on to see exactly what happened, but Nico de Bombal wasn't gone out of the inside, so it's up to Danny Mullins to keep him straight. But Katie, you with Robert Power, he'll be delighted.
Puppy, the sheep pieces worked for sport today anyway, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. You know, he's been a very, very frustrating horse. He's got an awful lot of ability and didn't quite take the jumping fences the way we hoped he would. Had a run over hurdles and turns the last day ran well, but Jesse's did a great job. He's really come to himself in the last couple of weeks.
Runs and snatches.
Yeah, he does. He's gone behind the bridle a lot. He used to be keen. But no, we thought coming here had a good chance today, and thankfully the cheap pieces have upped the magic.
Did you think, looking at it now, Puppy, to be honest with you, I thought you were beat when from the time you turned in, but he rallied all the way for the line, even coming down to the last and said, you're going to be second.
Yeah, I actually thought turning in, I had Nico covered, but Danny picked up on the outside and flew past us, and I thought, let's say race over. But to be fair to this, he stuck his head down. He had the cheap pieces on for a reason, and if it was in front any longer, he'd probably only do enough.
You're not finished yet though. You have the big one coming up, Manila Endo. Looking forward to it?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. You know, I've ridden him twice. I hit the crossbar on him twice. He did a great run in the Gold Cup, and I think if he reproduces that run, he shouldn't be far away.
What way are you riding today?
I think we'll just follow the pace. He's not so much to get force. If you force him, he kind of throws it back at you. So I'll let him warm into the race and take it from there.
Well, you have your pipes open after that anyway, so you're ready for it.
Yeah, cheers, Katie. Well done. Cheers.
Ruby, just going to the last year, can you should Danny have thrown the horse in? He kind of slowed him down. Did that cost in the race? Would you have done anything differently?
Yeah, I don't think he slowed him down, Hugh. You're on a good stride, you're on a bad stride. He's on a bad stride, so he says to let him jump it, but it's more the interference. So Danny goes by, but the question mark is, does he get clear of Nico de Bonville? He is there, but he doesn't come all the way across, so he leaves the gap for Nico when he's inside the black colours. Danny sits, didn't miss the hurdle, but on landing, Nico's jumped it better, and he's back on Danny's inside. Danny keeps coming in, bumps off Nico de Bonville. You can't do that. But we'd have to see, if we have the drone footage, it'll give us a better view. The drone is coming now, this will give us a better view of it, and he'll be able to explain it better, just how far in front Danny Mullins was when he comes across. Here we are off the bend, in front in the black, Nico de Bonville, red cap, Robert Power and Crosshill. You can see they've quickened away from Danny Mullins and the red colours on Classic Getaway, and when they get straight and Danny unleashes Classic Getaway, he quickens down the outside, closes the gap, gets by Robert, joins Nico de Bonville in front. As he's going by now, Danny's going to come across. Now he's over the length and a bit in front, and he gets across in front of Nico de Bonville, but he has to come all the way across and close the gap. He leaves the gap open, Nico jumps back in, and now he's less than a length behind. Danny can't keep coming, but he does and bumps off Nico. Has he cost him the rest? Probably not, but I wouldn't be surprised
if they're for second and third.
Yeah, and Danny gets a couple of days.
Okay, let's go down to the winning trainer, because she will be unaffected by whatever happens between second and third. It's Jessica Harrington.